Welcome to the Peeew!
In Michael's beautifully decorated living room.
With Amanda Lepore, my wall of Amanda Lepore.
To remind him every day of how beautiful and successful she is.
Yes, she's very beautiful.
Well, she's not the only person who is successful. Like literally this week, there must have been articles on at least 3 people that I knew. So there was Amanda.
That you knew?
Yeah, or that we know.
Okay.
Our friends.
So self-centered.
Well,
how about you?
Yeah, well, it's occupational hazard.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
Well, I'm glad you see that.
I do.
Now look in the mirror.
I see how ugly you
Look
are.
in the mirror. Look in the mirror.
You and that James St. James. 2 peas in a pod. Ugly, ugly, ugly.
A beautifully glittered pod.
Okay, 3 of our friends.
Well, maybe it was just 2. I can't remember the third now.
Paul Alexander.
Paul, Amanda
Lepore.
and who was the third? Okay, well, we'll get back to number 3.
Ah.
Nobody remembers number 3. So,
well, I hope it wasn't. That's going to come back to bite you.
I can see it now. I'm scratch another friend off the list. Number 3, whoever that is. It's great knowing you.
Paul Alexander. So he's got a new play out, Trinkets.
Yes, it's called Trinkets. It debuts on August 3rd in New York City, and it's a musical about sex workers in the meat market district in the 1990s.
And many
of whom came to Disco 2000 after their shifts.
All of whom came to Disco 2000 after their shifts.
My favorite one was
Stephanie Strawberry.
Okay, so you have to describe Stephanie Strawberry.
Okay, Stephanie Strawberry is best described, I think, as Fred Flintstone in drag.
Good description. Because she was short.
Puerto Rican Fred Flintstone.
Right, Puerto Rican Fred Flintstone. She was very short, and she was almost as wide and round as she was short.
Yeah, and she had that big like Puerto Rican-y like girl face, like with like very like full lips and
very full cheeks.
Yeah, very full cheeks.
But she was pretty though. Like
she was pretty
in a certain way, you know. But like then you also thought of Fred Flintstone.
If you think Fred Flintstone with a mouthful of acorns is
and
pretty,
lipstick.
it's pretty as
and she spoke really loudly.
Put lipstick on a pig.
She had a really loud voice, and it was
very loud.
It was very nasal.
Yeah, and she would get drunk.
Right,
get even louder.
And I don't think that she would come to Disco 2000 until about 2:30 or 3, because before that, she and the other tranny hookers were on Washington Street by 12th and 13th, turning tricks for the Johns that would come, I guess, from New Jersey or wherever they.
Yeah, or Edelweiss.
Right, they sometimes came from Edelweiss, but I seem to remember seeing them in the meat market district.
Yes, they were the meat. Yeah.
So anyway. Paul has written a musical about that. We haven't seen it, and we're not sure if it's any good, but
I think it'll be
Paul
good.
says that all the actors in it love it. So.
Paul is really smart and funny, and I think it'll be good.
Well, I'm really excited to see it. I'm going on opening night, actually.
I'm with you.
On August 3rd.
Is it sold out?
I don't know. I haven't bought tickets yet, but I am planning to do so.
What day of the week is that?
That is a Thursday night. And after that, I'm probably going to go to the Syntheside Party in Brooklyn.
Syntheside Party? Mm-hmm. Who's hosting that?
That is hosted by DJ Andy.
Oh.
And I'm not sure who else is going to be there that night, but she is the hostess, the mostess. And so anyway, the thing that I like about Paul Alexander is that, every time I go out, there are a few people that I always see from the old school. And it's basically 3 people. It's Amanda Lepore, Paul Alexander, and Astro Earl.
Oh, I was going to say Johnny Darnell.
No.
I see him out.
Like when I go out, those are the 3 people that I almost always see. And sometimes I'll go to a party where everybody's in their 20s except those 3 people, and those are the only ones that I know. But it's all good. It's fun. And however, he's very wounded by his relationship with the designer Marc Jacobs.
I read that. He seemed. I couldn't tell whether that was a bit out of kind of a bitterness or camaraderie. I guess it was more out of bitterness.
I don't know. Like if I were his publicist, I would not be sure
suggest-
if I was. I mean, I might suggest don't talk about Marc Jacobs because
unless they're friends, and if they're really good friends, then they,
well, they're not apparently, according to the statements that he's made, because he's also quoted in Victor Corona's new book, Night Class. That is the third friend.
Hey,
that's the third friend.
What were you saying about that third friend?
He's scratching me out.
Nobody remembers him. That he's not as fabulous as the other two. Well, we're going to be discussing.
We're devoting a whole episode to Victor's book. Tomorrow. Probably the next episode.
Yes.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the Peew.
Welcome back to the Peew.
Michael literally had a meltdown.
The coolest show in the world.
He was melting down.
Ernie is like a heat miser. He likes this like 100-degree weather. Like I remember living in his house, and it would be in the middle of August, and it was like 150 degrees with 100% humidity, and he would have parties in the living room where the air conditioner would sit unused the whole time, and everybody would be, and he wouldn't want to turn on because it would cost him 15 cents in electricity, and everybody would be like tiptoeing around the subject of, can we turn the air conditioner on? And Ernie would be like completely dry, and like, because he's so skinny, like he'd be like so completely dry and like not a care in the world, and like not knowing that everybody else is like dying of heat.
Well, first of all, I was the one who installed those air conditioners.
Okay, well you never turned it on.
Nobody ever helped me install them.
Okay,
and anybody could turn
so
them
now
on.
you're going to get back at us by not letting us turn it on, turn the damn thing on.
Button, the on button.
Everybody's afraid to turn it on in front of you because it was going to cost you 15 cents.
Secondly, I didn't pay for the electrical; it was included with the maintenance, so you could use all the electricity you wanted. And in fact, in your room, that air conditioner was on 24/7.
Okay, as it should be.
And I never told you to turn it off
Because you weren't paying for it, I guess. Did
I ever tell you to turn it off?
No.
Okay.
But you never let us turn the one in the living room on. Why couldn't we turn the one in the living room on?
No, you didn't turn it on because you didn't turn it on.
We turned it on. David and I turned it on when you were gone, and then when you came home, he'd be like, "Oh, Ernie's coming home. Turn off the air conditioner."
No, there may have been times that I felt a little chilly in the apartment in August.
You're anemic.
Well, it's that
chilly
really
in the apartment in August.
Well, skinny people are very sensitive to cold, and I get cold very easily. In fact,
eat some meat.
Well, I do eat meat. All kinds of meat.
Like what kinds?
Beef, chicken.
Lately, you've been eating
sausage.
Meat. Certain kind of meat. At your house. New kind of meat.
Getting back to our topic.
Oh yes.
Before the meltdown.
Victor Corona.
No, we were talking about Paul Alexander. The Ones, remember?
The Ones.
When he hosted Jackie 60?
Yes. Well,
did you ever go to Jackie 60 when he was emceeing?
Yes. The Ones were after Jackie 60.
That's right. Well, he was asked to do The Ones after doing such a stellar job as the MC at
I love The Ones. I don't know. They were a big hit in Europe.
They were. Well, he talks about that in the article.
Europeans
how
are
he
so
was flown
smart.
and wined and dined all over Europe.
Smarter than Americans. We're so dull.
But unfortunately, they had one hit and they were never able to replicate.
It's like the Scissor Sisters.
I don't like the Scissor Sisters as much.
Yeah, but they were. It's like they were a bigger hit in Europe.
Although they do have the Scissor Sisters have at least 4 or 5 songs that I like.
The Scissors. Are they still around?
Well, I think the Ones may only have 2 or 3 songs that I like. But in any case, for any group or performer to have more than one song that I like is a big accomplishment because it's hard to make good songs.
It is.
and their performances are really good. So
yeah, they're very stagey.
So in any case, it was great seeing somebody from the House of Field, become so successful. However, he's very sad, or he seems very sad in all the interviews that he's done, because in this New York, in the Paper Mag, the Paper Mag article, and in Victor Corona's book, he seems to have all this regret and sadness about not becoming a successful fashion designer when his best friend, Marc Jacobs, became really famous.
Well, I noticed it's the same kind of...
he shouldn't be talking about it.
No, I don't think so either. It's the same... I see that coming out of a lot of people from that.
And you know why I think he shouldn't be talking about it? Not because it's embarrassing or anything like that, or that it makes him seem like bitter, but because I think in his...
Both of us are true.
No, I think it could be perceived that way, but I feel that he has all these accomplishments in his own right, and he has all these gifts and talents in his own right. So there's no need for him to compare himself. It's kind of like the same thing with the trans people not being content with Amanda Lepore because they don't think she's a good spokesmodel, or with Amanda being compared to Lady Bunny or Honey Dijon. Like, why even compare Paul to anybody else? Because he's his own unique character. There's nobody else like him.
No, there isn't. He's a multi-fat. I mean, he's done so many things, can do so many things, proven himself successful at so many things. So I mean, that's
So if you're in New York City between
jack of all trades.
If you're in New York City between August 3rd and I believe August 14th, check out Trinkets by Paul Alexander. I'll be there August 3rd.
Maybe I'll be there too.
If Ernie
will let me.
And the air conditioning will be on.
I think that'd be real cool.
Because Paul will be in charge of it, not I. Although he's very skinny too. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you try to go home with him once and he turned you down?
Yes, I did.
See you next time.
Bye.